Good morning, everyone. Oh my gosh, it is Tuesday. And today we're going to talk about speaking. I won't be here too long because I actually need to take off pretty soon, but I want to talk about the one thing that you have going for you when it comes to speaking, and is having an ounce of fearlessness. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I'm going to give you one tactical thing that you can use if you want to get more speaking gigs on your calendar in your life. Oh my gosh. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and share this out to a couple of folks and see how everyone is doing this morning. Okay, I finally see. I got all kinds of buttons that are doing weird things. I know. I hate that. I hope you're it's cold here. Oh my gosh. It is so cold. I mean, if y'all want to build some walls, man, y'all build a wall around this weather thing and bring me back some warmth. But we're not going to go there this morning. But anyway, all right. For those of you who are here, I am Phylecia Jones, budgetologist and solopreneur money management expert, and you are watching Ask the Budgetologist. Now, I come to you live every morning and I answer any questions you have around business, budgeting, and solo entrepreneurship. And of course, I give you tons of unsolicited financial advice. And what we're going to do today is talk about speaking. Now, we talk about speaking because it is a way to help feed your budget. Not the only way, but it is a way to help feed your budget. And so we're going to talk about that this morning because I know some of y'all got some hungry budgets out there. You got some hungry budgets. Hey, LaShawn, how are you doing this morning? So really excited to talk about that. And I want to tell you about the shirt that I have on. So I got to move the microphone out of the way. I'm a fearless woman of Denver. If you can see that. Woo, there you go. Sorry, you got a boob shot. Hey, Annette, how are you doing? So I am coming on a little bit early this morning, but oh my gosh, the Women of Denver, amazing group here in Denver, Colorado. You can go check them out. And I actually have on my shirt, but it was also a really cool thing. When I got the shirt in the mail a couple of weeks ago, it reminded me of, because I like that it says, I am a fearless woman. And it kind of reminded me this morning that, when it comes to speaking, you got to have an ounce of fearlessness in you. And to be honest, you got to have an ounce of fearlessness to go after anything you want. And we're going to talk about that today. So first, I want to let you know that I do have a guide, the 3 skills every speaker must master in order to land more gigs. I'm going to put the comment down I'm going to put it down in the comment box. If I can, I mean, you would think that I would move the microphone out of the way, but I'm not. Yeah. I like being crazy like that. Hey, Heather. Hey, Annette. How are you doing this morning? So I put it in the comment box, but you can go over to keepupwithmrsjones.com. All right, here's the deal. When it comes to getting on stage, you have to be fearless. And I mean it in all ways. When it comes to speaking, when it comes to standing up there, when it comes to talking to people, when it comes to trying to land all these gigs, you're going to have to be fearless. And I know a lot of us, when we want something, but we're like a little afraid, we go educate ourselves. We go and educate, and we keep educating, and we keep educating, and we keep reading, and we keep listening, and we keep waiting for the right time. Oh, yes. Hey, Yvonne, how you doing? We wait for the right time, but not right now. As soon as I'm done with my book. Oh, no. As soon as the kids are out of school. Oh, no. As soon as I eat my burrito. That's what we do when it comes to going after what we want, especially when it comes to speaking. One of the things I've learned, you're just going to have to go do it. Hey, Yvonne, thank you so much. She said this will make her day better already. Hey, Connie, how you doing? But that's the straight up honest truth. You're going to have to be fearless. I don't know any other way to tell you. I know a lot of people say, no, you need to push out content. Some people will tell you need to have a 30-minute talk, a 45-minute talk. I have seen people on stage who didn't know what they were talking about. And for some reason, somebody gave them $30,000. I've seen people on stage who kind of just know a little bit. I've seen people on stage, the only reason they got up there is because they weren't scared. And that's the thing you're going to have to do. You're going to have to be fearless. Because I know a lot of people keep asking me, well, how did you do this? How did you get over it? Here's the deal. Every time I get on stage, I'm nervous. I am nervous to a point where it's not crippling, but I am very, very nervous. And if you've ever been around me, I kind of have a little routine, but I get nervous when I get on stage. Heck yeah, I'm scared to get up in front of some of these people that I don't know. strangers who could be judging me, not paying attention to me. Yes, I'm afraid when I do some of these shows, like I'm actually going to be on TV tomorrow, or the NPR interview. Like I'm afraid that I'm going to sound dumb. I'm just like anybody else, but I also know it's like, well, you just have to go for it. You honestly have to go for it. And there's no training. There's no training. There's no magic. There's nothing that will fix this. You're just going to have to know it in your soul and just go after it. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy, but you're just going to have to be fearless and just go and do it. Annette is saying that's most people. If something makes me uncomfortable or I see it as a challenge, that's usually the signal for me to go for it. And I know a lot of people say that, but a lot of people know if it's challenging, you'll find a lot of excuses as to why it's not the right time, it's not the right thing for you. Some people get fired up and go after it. I'm one of those that's like, well, heck, I ain't got nothing else going on. Might as well do it. I won't jump off of buildings, though. No. I'm bringing all the fear for that one. Yvonne says, me too. I got comfortable at blog pause because I did it over and over despite my shaky knees. Yeah. But now I'm scared again. Well, and that's the thing, Yvonne. I think what pushes us in business is that you kind of have to be scared. I had a mentor, Tommy Wolf. She runs a successful couple of businesses here in the Colorado area. And I was telling her, like, how do you get over being scared? And she said, you don't. She said, only thing I could tell you is that fear is going to keep pushing you. And she made me stand up. She hugged me. She said, I wish you the fear for the rest of your life. I'm like, okay, thank you. But sometimes it's the fear that drives you, because at some point you're going to have to be so scared that you're going to have to say, screw it, let's go and do it. LaShawn is saying, look at Barbara Streisand. She still has stage fright, and that's the thing. I think that I call it just like an adrenaline rush, but yeah, I mean, who doesn't have stage? I mean, there's some people who don't. I'm a hot mess. Like, don't talk to me right for going on stage. I don't eat. I don't wear white. I don't do anything. Like, just don't talk to me because I don't want to puke. But no one says it's going to be easy. You can get comfortable. And I think because I do a lot of speaking in so many different areas, I'm never really comfortable. It's just kind of, okay, this is exciting. Why not? My thing is, what else was I was going to do today? I was going to sit home and binge on Netflix. Might as well get up on stage and do something. Why not? And Annette's saying there's nothing like actually doing versus reading about it. I'm all about education, but you learn by doing. It would be like reading about dance or just watching a dance class. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? Wearing my Fearless Woman of Denver shirt. Yep. I love the shirt too, Crystal. I know somebody who can get you one. But that's the thing. And like I was telling everybody who's coming in late, today we're talking about getting on stage. And I'm going to give you one tip that will be the best thing in your arsenal if you want to land more gigs, get on stage. But the shirt inspired me this morning because you have to have an ounce of fearlessness when you're going after anything that you want. And for those of you who want to get on stage, you want to do all these things, you're going to have to be fearless about it. And, I'm fearless. I have fear around a lot of things when it comes to, all right, I'm going to try and do all this different stuff. But it's, I think it's a good thing to have because it's going to push you. Because I think fear is one of those things. It's either going to make you cripple and just stand there and do nothing, or you're going to have to say, you know what? Why not? I might as well keep going because I have nothing to lose. And I kind of say it like that most of the times. I have nothing to lose by asking someone to get on stage or getting on this stage or about emceeing an event. It's like I feel like I have nothing to lose because, one, my goal is I'm just going to have fun. That's the first key, having fun. 2, I'm going to make sure everyone else has fun as much as I can. And 3, it's just going to be a memory. And like I said, one of the things that I started doing last year was documenting this journey because you got to appreciate every last moment of it, where you've been, where you're going, where you've come from. It's just an amazing journey that you really have to pay attention to and go after what you want. So for those of you who want to get on stage, of course, if you have any questions about landing gigs, put them in the comment box. I will answer them free for anyone. But here's the key. I mean, I told you the secret to landing and getting more gigs is being fearless. But the other thing that you have in your arsenal is that you have to start asking. I know. It's like you have to start asking. And for all of my business owners, we know what that means. It's like asking for the sale. Yeah, you got to ask for the gig. You got to start asking, and you have to keep asking. Now, don't be obnoxious about it, but you have to keep asking. That means you got to keep finding people to ask. I mean, there are all kinds of ways. There are series and templates, and actually have a speaking course. If you're interested in it, let me know. I have a speaking course that'll get you through all those things. But what I tell people is you got to go with what you have, and that is not being afraid to ask. Not being afraid to ask. If you want to get on TV, you have to start asking. There are ways to ask, yes, but you'd be surprised. Sometimes it's kind of like that dumb luck. Sometimes you could just be like, hey, I want to be on TV. And they're like, okay, let's be on TV. Or I want to be on stage. You'd be surprised. There are a lot of people like, hey, I want to be on stage. And I know a lot of you are saying, but you got to be smart. You got to have content. You got to have this website. You got to have something. You have something to say. You got to do this. But you'd be surprised if you know you already have that. I know if you're watching this, you already have that. So why aren't you asking? You already got the website. You already got the content. You already know what you talk about. So when you have all those things checked off, what are you waiting for? Seriously, what are you waiting for? You have nothing to lose. And guess what? If you bomb on stage, they're in a different zip code. They won't remember you. That's the cool thing about bombing. People won't really remember you unless you were like horrific. They still won't remember your name though. So just go for it. Heather says more often than not, that fear for me usually points to the right direction. You know what? That's interesting. I've always loved when people say the fear points them in the right direction. I don't know. The fear just kind of like, I got nothing else to do. Why not? Hey, Sonia, how you doing? Great pep talk. I have a question for you. Doesn't need to be answered right away. I like to network with women business owners in male-dominated industries. Since your background is in STEM, do you know of any organizations for this type of group? What you would probably want to do, Sonia, if you want women in male-dominated industries, you're going to have to be very specific in those male-dominated industries. You have STEM, but STEM can be broken down. Remember, it's science, tech, engineering, and math. So you can go into the mathematician world. You can go into the engineering world, electrical engineering, architectural engineering, landscape engineering. And I know it sounds weird, but I've met a man who built a city. He's a landscape engineer. You can go into the sciences, the doctors, the biologists, the physicists, and then you can go into tech. And tech is a very wide range. Also, what you want to do is look into finance. I mean, in the financial world, women make up only 18%, and I think less than 1% are on the boards and CEO positions. So you're going to have to get, so you can go finance, you can go STEM, you can go tech, you can go math, you can go professorships in college, you can go construction. I know some friends, women who are in construction, and they are very underrepresented. So what you'll have to do, Sonia, is find those male-dominated industries, but then start narrowing down to which ones you actually want to talk to, because there are quite a few where women just are not the majority. And yes, start with the engineering, start with the tech, but you'll be surprised even in the financial world. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised, but the financial world, you start looking at that construction. So narrow down to where you want to go, but they are out there. Once you do that, just go and find those industries. And you're going to have to be fearless when you get into them, because male-dominated industries are very intimidating, and you're going to have to kind of have a little bit of a thick skin, like get ready. Because they are male dominated and you want to come in to talk to them. You just got to be ready and just be fearless and go after it. But just choose a couple of industries and do the research to see how many women are represented and how many women are not. You'd be surprised that a lot of women are represented in some industries, but males still make up the bosses. You know what I mean? So like in education, higher education, a lot of women are there, but you'd be surprised it's mainly a lot of men who are still running the show in a lot of places. So look into that. Yvonne I say write a book. You will have something important to talk about then. Book sale competence. Yeah, people tell you to write a book. People have been telling me to write a book. The thing with a book, Yvonne, is that I personally just don't want to write a book that's just another book. I want to say something. So I don't know, just start saying something and it'll come to you. Annette is, how are you feeling about speaking at Podfest? So for those of you, I'm speaking at Podfest in Orlando, Florida in March 7th, but I'm going to Vegas for the Women in Power Summit first. Podfest is going to be interesting, Annette. I will say that I have found that the podcasting community is very male dominated. Podfest is going to be one of my first events. So I think I'm slightly intimidated. I'm a podcaster, but I'm not a hardcore podcaster. I'm a lightweight touching on it podcaster. So, I think I am a little intimidated, and it could be because of how I got the gig that is intimidating me a little bit. So, I'm excited, of course. I'm always excited. I'm speaking at like 4:00 and I already know that the room is going to be packed. So, because I'm talking about landing speaking gigs and I'm the only speaker doing that. And they're setting up, or from what I understand, they're setting up a huge room. So it's a little intimidating. As the room gets bigger, it does get a little scary. So what I have to do is make the room small and intimate. And that means I have to like pay attention to the first couple of rows, get to know a couple of people in the front so I can see some faces that are familiar. But we'll see how Podfest. I'm excited about it because, one, I'm cold and I want to go somewhere warm. But I am a little intimidated by this group. I'm pretty sure by the time I get there and see people partying at night, it's gonna be like, yeah, had nothing to worry about. Inez, I'm going to miss you and our friend Sarah. And yes, it is male dominated. Yes, this podcasting community, especially, is very male dominated, and they kind of make it known that they're male dominated. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting world in the podcasting, especially in that podcasting community. So, but I think it'll still be fun. So, if you have any more questions, please put them in the comment box. I have like 3 minutes and I have to jump off. You can join me over on Instagram. We have to actually take the RV to the shop. So if you want to follow the adventures, last time we did it, hubby ran over a stop sign. The story so far. But yeah, if you want to follow those adventures, you can follow me on Keep Up with Mrs. Jones. Hey, Kat, how you doing? Yeah. So here's the thing when it comes to speaking. You got to be fearless and just go for it. You have nothing to lose. The worst case scenario I always tell people is that somebody's actually going to put you on stage and you have something to say. That's the worst case scenario. The other case scenario is that they'll say no and then you'll just go find somebody else. I mean, that's the beauty of no. When people keep telling you no, you go find somebody who says yes to you. And that is so cool about that. But you got to be fearless and don't be afraid to ask. Seriously, don't be afraid to ask. You don't know who has what you need, who has whatever stage you want to get near. So just don't be afraid to ask and just go for it. And yeah, will you mess up? Probably. Will you screw up? Yeah. Will you have fun? Yeah, you will have a lot of fun. That's the thing. Just have fun. Even when you mess up, most of the time, people don't even know it. All right. All right, folks. So I got to take off. I hope you have an amazing day. For those of you coming in late, just watch the replay. And we're talking about getting on stage. And if I can help you in any way, all you need to do is reach out to me. Go to keepupwithmrsjones.com. You can book a one-on-one session. Next week, I'm going to have to tell you about one of my Jumpstart clients who landed a gig at South by Southwest. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for her. So I'll tell you about her next week. I'm so excited. So if you're going to be in Austin in March, you got to stop by South by Southwest. Go to her session. It's going to be a good one. It's a really good session. Diversity, marketing, and women in business. You're going to love it. So excited I love how she dropped it in my message. She's like, oh, by the way, we talked about South by Southwest and I got it. I'm like, yay. So excited for her. All right, folks. I got to jump off. Take care. Happy budgeting. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Bye.